Good afternoon, I'm Lucy Noland.
And I'm Greg Hurst. Thanks for joining us for 11 News in HD.
It seems every day of this past week has brought big new developments in the Susana De Jesus case. And this afternoon, we've learned much more about a second suspect.
11 News has learned the man is actually a childhood friend of Nicholas Michael Jean, the prime suspect in the kidnapping. Investigators say Jean abducted De Jesus, then led them to her body in a semi-trailer.
11 News reporter Allison Triarci has been following this story throughout the day. Allison, what have you uncovered?
Lucy, deputies arrested Wallace Charles Ledet IV around midnight this morning. He has been charged with aggravated kidnapping, a crime he's told deputies he did not commit. In fact, he says he had no idea his friend, Nicholas Jean, was about to become a murder suspect. He says the two were just out driving around the night of the abduction. For days, police searched for him, Wallace Charles Ledet IV and his black Ford pickup truck. Both were found right here at the Ledet home in Pearland. Who would have thought? It is just 1 block away from the home of his old neighbor and high school buddy, Nicholas Jean.
I don't know what to make of it. I was just floored. Very floored. I mean, when I found that out, I was just like, this can't be happening.
Kathy Miller knew both of the kids. How couldn't she? Her daughter went to high school with them in Pearland, and the Ledets lived just across the street from them. The Jeans used to be right in back of her. They share a backyard fence. Miller was surprised by Jean's arrest. Ledets, she can hardly believe.
I mean, every kid gets in trouble, but murder is another thing. I just don't believe that he did that.
It is what it is.
Both men are now here at the Brazoria County Jail, and sheriff's deputies have begun to piece together how deep the Jean-Ledet friendship ran.
I think that Mr. Ledet finally did what he knew he was going to have to do. And, of course, the other suspect, he's invoked his rights under the 5th and 6th Amendments, so we don't talk to him anymore.
In a news conference, we learned from deputies that Ledet has told the story of that night in February outside of Catherine's clothing store. He told deputies he and Jean were just out driving around when Jean said he needed money and asked Ledet to pull over. He says he parked near Susana De Jesus' Cadillac. Then Jean got out and he drove off.
If he dropped Nick off, he absolutely did not know that was going to happen. I really believe that.
And more new developments today. For the first time since Nicholas Jean's arrest, we heard from Susana De Jesus' sister. Gilly Puente held a brief news conference today and said how hard all of this has been on the family. She also talked about the reports that Nicholas Jean suffers from a mental illness and takes medication for it. She said it was no excuse for the crime he is suspected of committing.
This act was a cold-blooded, heartless, and there's just no justification for an act like that.
Puente went on to say her family is hurting deeply and that they don't want to say anything more about the case for now.